Hello, this is Trisha Reinhardt over at the library. And in this video, I am going to show you about all of the different limiters that can help you limit down your search a little bit and what those limiters mean. So here we have our original search, which we did in the previous video. So if you haven't watched that video about how to get to the library homepage and run a basic search in Power Search, make sure you watch that first. And here, so we had limited with the Boolean operators here with the and or. And now there's some specific limiters, some filters that you can use to par down your search a little more. So we're starting with over 5,300 results. So we want to get this down a little more. Um, so, let's say we our topic is fairly new, or it's a topic in the medical field that we want to make sure that we get the most up-to-date information or most up-to-date school of thought on that information. You might want to look at the past 10 years or the past 5 years. Again, it depends on your topic, depends on your discipline. It also depends on your professor and the particular assignment that you're doing. Some professors may say 10 years, some professors may say 5 years. So make sure you check with your assignment requirements and your professor. For today, I am going to choose the past 5 years. And so now that has brought our results way down, which is good. Um, and the next limiter filter here is the full text one. Now, if you are doing something that's due relatively soon, or if you have a lot of results and you feel like you can limit them down a little bit, this is might be a good option to choose. So when I click on this, it'll bring my results down and only show you options that we have direct full text access to. So you'll have instant access to those articles. Now, with this taken off, we might see an option to request from Interlibrary Loan. This just means that we don't have full text access to this particular article. Either we don't subscribe to this journal or this issue of this journal. So we would need to obtain this article for you from another library, which is fine. It is free. It is relatively easy as well. So when I click on this, it's going to take me into the Interlibrary Loan portal. And so it brings over all of the article information for me. And I just check off that I agree to the copyright conditions. And then I hit submit. And we will get the article to you within we usually say 3 to 5 business days, but honestly, it can be a lot quicker than that. It can be 24 to 48 hours. Um, so if you are working on a longer term project, a semester long project, or longer, don't limit yourself to just stuff that we have direct access to. You want to keep your options open. But as I said, if you're working on something that's due relatively soon and you don't have the time to wait for the article to come, to read and synthesize it, and you have many, many results here, go ahead and check off that full text option. Now, the last limiter that I will mention here is the scholarly peer-reviewed. Now, this will limit to just articles that are coming out of peer-reviewed journals. Now, what does that mean? What does peer-reviewed mean? What does scholarly mean? So when I click this off, you will only see articles that say peer-reviewed here that are coming from academic journals. So these articles go through a certain process before they are published. They go through a peer-reviewed process. So that means experts in the field that are part of the editorial board of the journal. They will review the articles for accuracy, for study design, how the study was conducted, the ethics of how the study was conducted. Does the article make sense? And does it actually add to the field? So it goes through this frequently months-long process before it actually gets published in the journal. So you know that this article has been vetted, it's been looked at, and it's published because other experts in the field have looked at it and have said this article is credible. Um, so a lot of times these articles will have very specific pieces or parts to them. So I'm going to use this article as an example. And we go to Access Now. It's going to take me right to the PDF. And so they'll have an abstract. And this is essentially the summary of the article. So it's going to tell you what the article is about. And that's a good second step to look at right after you look at the title. The title sounds interesting or exciting. Read the abstract. See if it's really going to help you with your research, with your paper. So a lot of times these articles will have an introduction and or a background. They may also have a literature review section where they're talking about all of the literature that is out there already on this particular topic or related to this topic. And then you might see a methodology section. This particular one looks like it is has an extensive literature review section talking about theory and really getting into the nitty-gritty of it. And here's their method section where they're going to talk about their study. How did they conduct their study? Who did they conduct their study on? What type of study is it? Those sorts of things. And then it will give you the results of the study. Those are usually just kind of the boring statistics of it. Yeah, yes, the findings. They're calling it findings here. You might also see results. And then after the results, they will give you a discussion conclusion section. So they're calling it discussion, conclusion, and implications. And so here, this is the narrative of the article, essentially. They're talking about what they found in their study in terms that are a little easier to understand than the results statistics section, and what the implications are for this particular field. And so if you open up an article and you see, oh boy, this article is 31 pages, that's too much, I can't read that, go down to the discussion conclusion section first and read that first, because that will give you, as I said, the narrative. It'll give you the meat of the article and it will explain it in a way that's a little more easier to understand. And of course, all articles, peer-reviewed articles, are going to have a long list of references at the end. And so we know that the references are backing up. They're using these references to back up what they're saying. So that's an added level of credibility. Instead of just making a statement and leaving it out there, they have something to back that up, and build trust with that reader. So that is scholarly peer-reviewed article in a nutshell, as well as the different limiters that you can use to limit down. So now we have 827 articles. Now that's still a lot. You know, you don't have to go through all of those articles. You can scan through and see what titles look interesting, read the abstracts, what abstracts look interesting. And then you can access them. Some of them will take you out to a different database. Some of them will give you the PDF right in PowerSearch here. and watch for a separate video on what you can do with those different PDFs that you have. There's many different things you can do with it. But we hope that you have found this video helpful. Please get in touch with us if you have any questions at all. And thank you for watching.